Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm here with Zane Bloom, our student interview today. So Zane's a senior with us. Zane, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Like Dan said, I'm a senior at Wilmington Christian, and I've been there since third grade. I've been a baseball player since I was 5 years old. Played the trumpet since fifth grade. I enjoy, like I said, baseball, music, Star Wars. I'm huge into. I love movies. I enjoy watching TV shows. And then Clash Clans, Clash Royale. That's some good stuff too.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing these past couple weeks?
Well, in terms of what I've been doing, or at least what I can do, I've been just kind of doing a lot of school. I'm really not trying to rush through it. I'm really just kind of milking it as long as I can because that's really all I can do. Kind of just keeping me occupied with schoolwork, I guess. Then once I finish school, I kind of just start messing around on my phone. Been Don't tell anybody, but I've been doing more TikToks than normal, and playing a lot of Clash and stuff like that. And then the other thing too that I've been doing is I've been doing some like individual like studies of books of the Bible. I went through Revelation. Um, went through Revelation last 2 weeks, and then this week I'm gonna start the book of Hosea, and so that's be something doing, as this quarantine goes on.
Yeah. So going in, tailing off that. So besides studying Hosea and books of the Bible, have you picked up like any new like skills or are you honing in any skills that you haven't tried before? Maybe something new?
I think one thing that I've been doing better is kind of like picking apart passages and like understanding like what certain things mean. Like especially through the book of Revelation, um, the very beginning part, like with the churches, like him addressing the seven churches. I never really understood that before. And like, for me, like, Revelation was always kind of this mystical book of like the future and stuff like that. And like, I've kind of, in the past, I've kind of skipped over those addresses to the churches. But after really diving into it and seeing like why he's talking to these churches and he's commending them and he's condemning them in different ways, that was something that, was very insightful to me. And like I've been getting better at picking apart passages and like seeing why, even in that case, Jesus is saying what he's saying to these specific churches and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, maybe we'll have to have you back to do a talk on Revelation with us.
I can do that.
But so for today, just kind of wanted to pick your brain and get your perspective on just being a senior and kind of having all of your expectations of your senior year, maybe not all of them, but a lot of your expectations for your senior year being interrupted and just maybe not going the way you expected. So just what are some of your thoughts about that?
Well, one of the biggest things yesterday or 2 days ago, we got the final word from the NCCSA that we are not going to have any more spring sports. And so that was pretty, that was hard for me because, I've worked my entire baseball career, to get to this, this final season, where, I'm the biggest I've ever been. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm playing baseball to the best that I've ever played before. And to have that stripped away was pretty tough. And then, even like with, major sports leagues, not having anything, like not having anything to watch. And so it's kind of tough, like in the sports realm. And that was something that, I know myself and a lot of other people were really looking forward to was, playing our final season together and,
Yeah.
Just, having that good final season, coming off a state championship and then, trying to do it again with probably an even better team. And so, and like, I put a lot of work into it. I worked my butt off, like from the moment school started, up until the season started. I started going to a personal trainer. I started, doing workouts, separate from the team and stuff like that. So, I put a lot of work into it, and to see that kind of, fizzle out so quickly. It was tough. And, just to know that a lot of that work, isn't going to come to fruition. But in that, I can see where God opens up opportunities. And I think that's one thing that he's trying to show us during this tough time, is that he's still sovereign, because that the MLB was not, because they're not playing right now. One of the players, he's in the Phillies organization. He went to Ashley High School. I don't know how long ago, 5 or 6 years ago, but he's back home and he's giving pitching lessons. And that's the thing that I think is going to get me the chance to play in college. And, after having my season cut short, I made a commitment in my own heart that I'm not going to let that be the end. And so I have that opportunity now to work with a professional baseball pitcher and to, develop my skills and to potentially be able to play in college. And that wouldn't have happened had the season not been canceled. So, I can see things working. I mean, I prayed last night before I went to sleep. It's like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I know that you do. And I know that your plan is sometimes, most of the time, always better than my plan. So I think that's something that I'm learning a lot from right now.
Yeah, definitely. I know just on the sport aspect. So I played sports in high school, and just having that senior season, regardless if you're like, an all-state player or you're riding the pine like I was, having that senior season is something you look forward to. And, thinking back on my experience, kind of seeing, where were you guys? What is your guys' mindset? Where was my mindset as a senior? And it's, it's something you can never get back. So I really feel for you guys that you don't get it. Cause I know it's just something you look back on and you remember, hey, like those were the guys that I played with. Those were my friends. A lot of good memories shared on the ball field. And that's, it's part of the reason why we play sports. So 100%, I do feel for you there. One verse that I was kind of just thinking through as we look at this idea of disappointment and where things come to an end, or, maybe right now looks like you have some good perspective and the different opportunity with that pitcher. But just going back to one of my favorite verses in Lamentations 3, there's a section of verses that I really personally have really hit me hard over the past couple of years, and I've really taken them to heart for myself. But I just want to read one verse, kind of give us some hope. And it's verse 23. Well, I mean, I'll read 22 through 24. It says this: the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him. So as we kind of think through these difficult times of missing out, it puts into perspective, what is our hope in? As a young student like you are, as a senior, we tend to put our hope in the next season. We know the next season isn't going to come. That when we lose at the end of the last season or we win, what do we always say? There's always next season. And so we put our hope in that. And so just drawing back to this passage of our hope isn't in baseball, isn't in sports, isn't in the events that we would assume should occur in our lives. It's in God, not because the Bible just says this, but because he is faithful. His mercies are new every morning. Hard times are coming, and hard times are here, but the mercies are new every morning. And you see a great example for yourself where you're able to, you have this a lesson with a professional baseball player, exactly like you said, and you wouldn't have had that otherwise. And those are the things that we shift our perspective on. Yeah, we're missing out on the expectation, but God's mercies, God's love is new every day, and there are things to take joy in, to take hope in. So as a senior, I encourage you to keep sharing that message that you're experiencing with the other people around you. But that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
the one, actually, a song that I forget who sang it now, but Day One, I think it's, I don't know, I'm going to botch it. I think it's Stephen Curtis Chapman, but I don't remember. But that was a song, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago, like I think when I was in middle school, that like really hit me hard, that, you know, I have mercies new every morning. And that was based off of Lamentations 3:23. And, you know, I think that's something that we can look at, you know, every morning, and to know that, you know, the moment the clock strikes midnight, you know, we have a new opportunity. We have a new day to serve the Lord, and he has a new day to show his mercy on us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll wrap up here, but just a couple questions before we shoot off. So what is something that you feel like you can do to help other people? A couple of our previous videos have been about selflessness. Has there been anything that you've been able to help people with, or something that you may, you know, hope to be able to help people with? Do you have anything like that?
Well, being the kind of the high school chaplain, I've had the good opportunity to be able to lead others in devotions, and I've been able to help some people this week, you know, just with spiritual struggles. And I think that's that was one of the things that prompted me to the book of Hosea, is that, you know, we return to God, and that's kind of the overarching theme of the book of Hosea. And, you know, there were some people that came to me and were like, you know, hey, I'm in need. Like, I need help. I know that I'm in the wrong, and I know that there's something that I need to do to get back to the Lord. And so I directed them there. And that's been something that I've been able to do by the grace of God, you know, this week for a good couple of people, which is a blessing to me and to them.
That's awesome. Good. So then one more question, not quite as serious, but do you have a favorite soap that you like to wash with currently? You know,
soap.
It's kind of important right now, right? Have you gotten attached to a certain scent, if you will?
I don't think I have ever in my life thought about what type of soap I was using.
Strange times, man.
I am dumbfounded. That soap. I mean,
Yeah, right. You just do it without thinking.
It's just that's what you do, right?
At least you didn't say like, oh, I don't wash my hands or something. At least you're like confident that you do use it. You just don't know what. So that's fine.
I don't think I have ever looked at what brand of soap we have in our house.
Do you have a scent though? Can you smell it and just be like?
See, I guess I enjoy citrusy like type scents, but I don't think I've really ever thought about it that much.
Well, now you got something new to think about.
Anyways, definitely.
Well, thank you for jumping on with us. I know that was helpful for me. Again, it stinks that you're in the situation of having to miss out on your senior season, but keep working, keep grinding, and can't wait to see what God has for you in the future.
For sure.